Everyone to a brand new episode of Max Talks Box Office here at Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinnenberg. Today I am breaking down the box office of this past weekend, which was December the 12th to the 14th, 2025. Look at the overall numbers, both worldwide and domestic for the year 2025. Look ahead to all the movies hitting theaters this week and letting you know the videos that are going to be hitting my channel as well this week. So my name is Max Dinnenberg. Welcome back to Max Talks Movies. Help me get to 400 subscribers by hitting that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. Just around 20 subscribers, guys, away from getting my benchmark. So please get me to 400 to start 2025. I talk movies, TV shows, award season, box office, many more things. So please subscribe, ring the bell, comment down below. What are your thoughts on the box office? What did you see this past weekend? What are you going to see this upcoming weekend? And also, guys, please hit the thumbs up button. So without further ado, guys, let's get into this past weekend's box office domestically, which was 12th to the 14th, 2025. And Zootopia 2 in its third weekend is back at the #1 spot. It is dropped only 39%. Again, no major movies hit theaters this weekend, which we knew would be a benefit for Zootopia 2. It was. It made another 26.3 million domestic, 258.9 overall domestically. But guys, this movie has already crossed $1.1 billion. It got to $1 billion in 17 days, which is the fastest any animated movie or PG movie has ever gotten to $1 billion. Now, a big reason why with Zootopia 2 is it's made so much more of its money overseas. The movie has made 877 million internationally, 500 of that coming from China, which has been a movie market that Hollywood has had a very bad relationship with, really since the start of the pandemic. International movies, or international market, a big chunk of it was China, the second biggest movie-going market in the world. And the United States, their movies, especially Disney, like Marvel, for example, their movies were not being allowed to be shown in China. And because Zootopia 2 was such a massive hit for the first film, they have multiple different Zootopia things like rides and areas in even in Shanghai. I think there's a whole Zootopia place to go to. Obviously, they wanted to release Zootopia 2 back in China, and it obviously made this movie a near $1 billion movie. This is still definitely going to be up there for one of the biggest hits of the year domestically, but it's not a overnight, unbelievable success here in the United States and Canada. It's a very solid success here in the United States and Canada, but the movie is an overwhelming triumph overseas. And it really shows you if you want to be in the $1 billion club, not that you need like all of your money to come from international. As I always say, usually if you want to be in the $1 billion club, your split between domestic and international needs to be around 60% international, 40% domestic. Look at Lilo and Stitch from Disney earlier this year. That movie got to $1.038 billion. It has 59% of its money from international, 41% from here in the United States and Canada. So you want that balance. So it's going to be very interesting now. How does this affect movies moving forward? Do they want more relationships studio-wise with China? Was it just the movie? Is this just a lightning in a bottle moment, or can there be some more growth and success from Zootopia 2? At #2 is Five Nights at Freddy's, which is in its second weekend. It dropped a massive 70% in its second weekend, 19.5 million, 95 million domestically. This is a pretty bad drop for the movie. Now, this movie had the exact same drop in its second weekend for the first film, but the excuse is not there for this movie. There was no major movies from the United States that hit theaters this weekend. So there really was no competition for Five Nights at Freddy's. There really wasn't an excuse for a drop like this. But it seems like this franchise is very niche, where it's very front-loaded, especially with fans of the video games. And because this movie was really not well received, there isn't really that rewatchability factor. So the goal, I think, for Blumhouse moving forward is how can we keep Five Nights at Freddy's more than just a one-week event? Seems like after its opening weekend, just like the first film, the movie completely falls away from mainstream conversation, and which leads to some very underwhelming box office numbers. Now, again, the movie is already at $95 million domestically. It's already over 150, if I'm not mistaken, worldwide. So this movie, once again, is a moneymaker for Universal and Blumhouse. But you can definitely see there is potential to really take this franchise to the next level instead of it just being a one weekend event. How could Universal and Blumhouse do something more? Well, let me know in the comments if you have any other ideas for Blumhouse to make this a better thing. In third place this weekend is Wicked for Good, which dropped another 51% in its fourth weekend, 8.5 million, 312.1 domestic. Again, Wicked for Good is hovering around $500 million right now worldwide. It's at 467. Again, the first film, which came out last year, got to 730 worldwide. It's going to be probably hovering around $500 million, which again, this movie is a very soft success, but Wicked for Good did not take this franchise to the next level. This movie is going to make $250 million less than the first movie, which again was just a year ago. Shocking how big of a drop off. Obviously, the Wicked fans weren't that happy with this movie, but in general, the audiences themselves have really shown their displeasure for Wicked for Good, as this movie has completely fallen off the radar, mainstream wise already. An award season, I think it's going MIA for a lot of major categories. So, again, after all of that talk about sequel, spinoff, I think Universal is going to rethink their pathway if they want to continue in the Wicked universe. The new international feature that got into the top five this weekend is Dahar, which is a Bollywood movie. So last week we had a Japanese anime movie in Jujutsu Kaisen getting into the top five. Now we have a Bollywood movie in the top five. It made $3.5 million and it lost 13 theaters, but it had an amazing per theater average of $9,000 per theater in 377 theaters. And the movie gained 65% of its box office. Just amazing how more accepting American audiences are of international films. If we look at the Academy now, we see multiple international features being nominated for Best Picture. If you look at throughout this year, you see a lot of international films getting into the top five. If it's anime, if it's Bollywood, if even if it's like other films, just amazing stuff. So it does give you a little hope that people are here in the country are more accepting of some things. So Durandahar is at number 4, and Now You See Me, Now You Don't is at number 5 in its fifth weekend, still in the top 5, only dropping 32%, 2.3 million, 59.3 domestic. Again, this movie isn't, as I continue to say, isn't making complete bank, but Lionsgate should be satisfied this movie continues to hang around the top 5. It's hitting digital very soon as well, so stay tuned for that. But I do think Lionsgate will probably move forward with another Now You See Me movie. Looking at the domestic numbers so far this year, Minecraft and Lilo and Stitch very close at number 1 and 2. Superman is 3, Jurassic World Rebirth is 4. Wicked for Good is up to number 5, $312 million. But I just don't think it will be able to catch Jurassic World Rebirth at number 4 with 339, especially with such heavy hitters hitting theaters for the rest of 2025. Sinners is at 6, Fantastic Four First Steps at 7, How to Train Your Dragon is at 8, Zootopia 2 is into the top 10 domestically now this year. It's at number 9, Captain America Brave New World is at 8. So Zootopia will at least get past Sinners, only needs $21 million to get into the top 6. The question is, can it catch up to Wicked domestically? Again, we shall see. Looking at the worldwide numbers, as I said, Nazat 2 is number 1. Zootopia 2 is now the biggest American movie of the year worldwide. $1.1 billion dollars. And Zootopia 2, by the way, has already made more money in 17 days than the first movie's entire run in 2016. And that movie made $1 billion. So honestly, just amazing stuff for Zootopia 2. Lilo and Stitch is another $1 billion movie, both from Disney. And the other films below $1 billion, you have Minecraft at 4, Jurassic World Rebirth at 5, Demon Slayer at 6, How to Train Your Dragon at 7, F1 at 8, Superman is at 9, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning is at 10. So this is probably the last big box office weekend for 2025. Avatar Fire and Ash is hitting theaters this weekend. This is one of the biggest franchises from a money-making perspective or box office perspective of all time. The last movie a couple years ago, Way of Water, which I think, yeah, 2022, that movie opened to $134 million domestically. Now, this movie is tracking between 95 and $115 million, which obviously is a very much a downgrade from the second Avatar movie. But we will see. Avatar has been doubted before. The second film, a lot of people thought who would come back to see Avatar. That movie made so much money a couple years ago. Avatar Fire and Ash is the big wrench. Could it get to obviously become another billion-dollar movie in this franchise? We shall see. Really good movies that are hitting theaters as well as counter programming. You have The Housemaid coming out on Friday. That's a movie starring Amanda Seyfried and Sydney Sweeney. You have the SpongeBob movie from Paramount, which obviously is counter programming as well. Another family film entering the marketplace if families don't want to spend over 3.5 hours in a movie theater watching Avatar. And in limited release, you have religious film David from Angel Studios in limited release. And the new Bradley Cooper movie, Is This Thing On, is hitting limited release. Just want to say, I saw this movie over a month ago, and it is one of my favorite movies of the year. So if it's playing near you, I highly recommend checking out Is This Thing On, starring Will Arnett, Laura Dern, written, directed by Bradley Cooper. Definitely highly recommend you guys checking it out. So coming up this weekend, tons of videos are hitting my channel. I'm going to be doing ranking videos this week for both Knives Out and for the Avatar franchise that are hitting this week. Tomorrow, you're going to get my review for Welcome to Derry, the It spinoff show on HBO Max. I'll have a review for that tomorrow. My Oscar video this week will be breaking down Best Actress as well. I will also have reviews for Avatar, Fire and Ash, out of theater reaction and review on Thursday. Out of theater reaction and review for The Housemaid will be coming out on Friday. And then back here on Monday, I'll be doing a out of theater reaction and review for SpongeBob, which means I'm going to move my box office breakdown show to next Tuesday, which will be December 23rd. So thanks guys for joining me. Help me get to 400 subscribers, and I'll see you guys in another video very soon.